You know that moment a CEO steps down? It can send total shockwaves through a company. But for the world's most successful organizations, it's just another Tuesday. So what's their secret? They have absolutely mastered the art of the succession pipeline. So how do they do it? Let's dive in and pull back the curtain on how to build a leadership pipeline that's genuinely future-proof. So who gets to make that huge call? Who anoints the next leader? Is it the outgoing CEO? Some kind of secret committee in a smoke-filled room? You'd think it's one of those, right? But the real answer is actually a lot more interesting and honestly, way more powerful. It's not about one person's decision, it's about a strategic partnership. Yeah, the best, most solid succession plans, they are never a solo act. They're born from a really powerful and strategic partnership between two key players inside the company. Okay, so on one side, you've got HR. Think of them as the architects of the whole system, totally focused on process and people. And then on the other side, you've got the board of directors, the guardians, whose focus is all about governance and the balance of power. They have very different roles, for sure, but they share one critical goal: the long-term health of the company. All right, so let's dig into the architects first, HR. What does their blueprint actually look like for building this incredibly important piece of infrastructure for leadership? First things first, what even is a succession pipeline? It's easy to think of it as just picking the next person in line, but it's not a one-and-done thing. It's a constant, ongoing process of finding and nurturing talent from inside the company, making sure you always have great leaders ready to step up. So HR's job here, it really breaks down into four key parts. They have to create the processes, of course, but they also have to constantly maintain them to keep them fresh and relevant. And then, maybe most importantly, they have to safeguard the system's integrity and ensure impartiality. And this last part, this is absolutely crucial because it's what stops company politics from just steamrolling over actual talent. So here's the bottom line. HR builds the framework, the whole structure. It's kind of like the plumbing of a building, right? If it's designed well and everything is fair and reliable and consistent, the whole system just works when you need it to. Okay, now let's switch gears and talk about the other half of this partnership, the guardians, the board of directors. They're not down in the trenches. They're operating from like a 30,000-foot view, looking at the really big picture. Yeah, the board isn't getting bogged down in the day-to-day details of who's getting what training. Their job is all about that high-level governance. They manage the delicate balance of power, step in to oversee any major conflicts, and ultimately, they're the ones making sure the next leader is the right fit for where the company is going, not just where it's been.
So really, the board is the ultimate guardian of the company's future. They have to ask that one massive question: is this plan actually going to serve our long-term health and our vision?
All right, so we've got the architects and we've got the guardians. We know what they do separately. But now, let's talk about what happens when they actually work together, because this is where the real magic happens. So what's the real difference? What's the actual tangible result of this partnership? Why is it so much better than them just doing their own thing? Well, take a look. The difference is pretty black and white, isn't it? When they work in silos, you get a weak pipeline, where company politics can just run wild. But when they collaborate, oh man, you get a system that's robust, reliable, and fair. Process and oversight working together. That's what safeguards impartiality and makes sure conflicts get resolved clearly and decisively. So the main takeaway here is pretty simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. It's that combination, HR's detailed process and the board's big picture oversight, that creates a system that can actually withstand pressure. One of them can't do it alone. It just doesn't work. You know, when you boil it all down, this isn't just about some corporate checklist. It's way bigger than that. It's about building a legacy. And that's why this is so critical. Look, any company can get lucky once with a fantastic leader, but the companies that truly thrive generation after generation, that's not luck. That is by design. And this collaborative succession planning, well, that is the design.
This really says it all, doesn't it? Succession isn't just about finding someone to fill a vacant chair in the org chart. It's about securing the entire future of the organization. It's about building a bridge so the company can get to where it needs to go next and stay strong for years to come.
And so that leaves all of us with one last, really important question to think about. How about your own organization? Is that process a real partnership? Are your architects and your guardians truly working together? Is your leadership pipeline really, truly built to last?